We have to kind of start with the movie, don't we? I know you can't talk a lot about it, but you've been hanging out with some pretty cool people recently. Tell me how you got into the consulting gig on the Formula One movie.
Yeah, Joe Kosinski, the director, who of course did Top Gun Maverick, is a Porsche enthusiast. He drives a 911, and he's such a great human being. And I was introduced to him through Owen Shively, who works with Porsche in all things Hollywood. If you see Porsches in Hollywood on the big screen, Owen's had his hands in that. And just started out as a coffee in Malibu. And Joe said, "Look, I need somebody to help me out for some of these scenes with the lead actor, getting him up to speed, being able to take the race car out on the track." And so, yeah, towing the line of my confidentiality agreements, we were known to be in Daytona for the Rolex 24. I spent 3.5 weeks on set, and I have done some movies, commercials, and different stuff through my life, and especially with Porsche, but never had I been in a production of that scale with the professionalism and organization. The stunts were amazing. I had my hand in it. I've been on the program consulting them for about 2 years now. So it was great to have multiple roles, helping out on the stunt team, also with training the lead cast. And I think it's going to be unbelievable. It's no secret that there's some sports car goings on in conjunction with Formula One, and I think a lot of people have seen the preview that they put out this summer, and it's definitely an action scene extravaganza when it comes to race cars. They are doing things that are testing new waters, so it's super fun.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to it. I happened to be standing on the grid, the starting grid, before the Austin race last year, and there was a rather attractive male actor who many know hanging around there observing. And of course, Brad Pitt's already been in the trailer, so that part's well known. Tell me, just what was it like hanging out with him?
Yeah, he's great. It was super fun. Right away, I found a great connection with him. We were joking around, but also very serious and loves driving. And that part is always fun when you're working with a student. We were preparing, over preparing, and I got to kind of direct how I was going to expose him to the track and driving 911s at speed. Every bit of that is part of what I do. I love sort of coming and breaking down the strategy of like, what's the experience level of the driver and what's the end goal of the driver or their team. And it reminded me of working with Patrick Dempsey when he really had this dream of being on the podium at Le Mans. And you sort of have to work backwards from that end goal, like anything in life or business. And I love seeing results realized. That is more gratifying for me than even my own personal career as a racing driver. That human level of team and achievement is unbelievable. So yeah, part of stepping out of the race car at the end of 2021 full time was to give myself more time to doing some of these special projects. And when this call came to work on the new F1 movie, it was definitely one of those too good to be true moments where you were hoping that something between concept and reality didn't get in the way and interrupt your dreams of sort of being on the high banks of Daytona with the who's who of a stunt team and the lead actor. That part of it was spectacular.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, it's one thing to have a student; it's another to have a student who's a lead actor, and somebody who's so willing to listen and adapt and learn. Correct?
Absolutely, yeah. It's you've seen it online or heard about it. Brad's a big enthusiast of speed and has done a lot in the motorcycle world. But this was a big task for him, and it was my job to keep him safe and to simplify what you need to know and what you don't need to know. And production really did an amazing job of bringing in everybody that was needed and nobody that wasn't. And it was very streamlined. It was so organized. When I think about my other day job being running events, it's all about that coordination of people and prep and communication. And on a production of that level, it's so inspiring for me to take little bits and pieces of how they manage time and how they manage logistics. Being at the Rolex 24 and the magnitude of that event, and then having a film production of that scale running in conjunction with the race. And for us to be doing scenes during the actual Rolex 24 was an unbelievable undertaking. But Brad is such a cool customer. I mean, watching his acting and how he gets in that zone really reminded me of motorsport. You're on the grid. There's media, there's family, there's friends, there's competition that are staring you in the eyes, and you're balancing all of those different distractions, and a lot of energy, a lot of mental energy is consumed with the pre-race or any of the goings on leading into the race. And then when you strap your helmet on, you have to sort of step out of one set of shoes and into another and become a different persona. And Brad was everybody on the team of the production was super impressive about its go time. And it really did take me back to my pro career. But yeah, being on the road with those guys and posted up for 3.5 weeks, I sort of have a general rule with my family that I try not to spend more than 5 nights away at one time. And this time I was posted up in Daytona for 3.5 weeks. And it really makes me respect the whole film world and how much commitment they make to time. And, you know, being in a different world for that amount of time. I mean, obviously Daytona isn't too far away from my home. I spent, I think maybe 18 years in a row doing the Rolex 24. So I knew my way around town, and I loved how they can sort of bake in that proper rest time, but still being available should we have to jump into a meeting or discuss something. You're still very much on set, but definitely have to rest and get away from it a little while, recharge. And yeah, just grateful for that experience, and certainly grew in a lot of different ways.